We remember him as a college sensation, the player who brought thunder to the court, a sports meteor destined to revolutionize the NBA. Zion Williamson, the prodigious athlete, bore the hopes of an entire city on his shoulders. Unfortunately, his story has veered into a maze of questions and uncertainties. But before we dive into the details, we need to take a quick trip down memory lane. Zion Lateef Williamson, born on July 6, 2000 in Salisbury, North Carolina, started his journey towards basketball greatness at a young age. His mother, Sharonda Sampson, a former sprinter, and stepfather, Lee Anderson, a former basketball player, guided the young talent towards a path that would lead him to NBA stardom. Zion's career began taking shape at Spartanburg Day School, where he quickly rose to prominence in the high school basketball scene. His unique combination of power, agility, and finesse, coupled with the 6'3" frame and incredible leaping ability, set him apart from most of his peers. His high-scoring performances and highlight reel dunks soon caught the nation's attention, and he became a viral sensation on social media platforms. These achievements propelled him to a national ranking as a 5-star recruit. His raw talent attracted many prestigious colleges, but Williamson committed to the Duke University Blue Devils, an institution renowned for its basketball program and esteemed coach Mike Krzyzewski. At Duke, Zion exceeded expectations and quickly transformed into a nationwide superstar. During his freshman year, his explosive performances earned him national recognition, winning the Wayman Tisdale Award for National Freshman of the Year and being unanimously selected for the first-team All-American. Averaging 23 points and 9 rebounds per game, along with numerous memorable performances, made him an obvious choice for the overall #1 pick in the 2019 NBA Draft. The New Orleans Pelicans, having lucked out in the draft lottery, had the privilege of drafting the best NBA prospect since LeBron James. The Pelicans worked to build a talented team around Zion. They orchestrated a significant trade where they sent their disgruntled superstar Anthony Davis to the Lakers. In return, they received a wealth of future draft picks promising a prospect like Josh Hart, Brandon Ingram, and Lonzo Ball. Yet, in the competitive NBA landscape, the Pelicans weren't immediately positioned to compete, mainly due to their lack of experience and young roster. Still, their potential was evident. A prime example was their new playmaker and floor general, Lonzo Ball, who improved his highly criticized jump shot with the aid of the jump shot guru. The stage was then set for a Pelicans run in the Western Conference. However, a persistent question remained: could Zion stay healthy? The Duke University incident where his shoe split in half, sidelining him, was a grim reminder of the fragility behind his incredible frame. Despite that, whenever he graced the court, he was a force to be reckoned with, dominating his opponents. Yet consistency remained elusive. In his first season, he only played 24 games due to a meniscus tear in his right knee, averaging a strong 22.5 points in his rookie year. However, the physical style of play that made him such a sensation began to take a toll on his body. A fractured finger impeded his second season, although he appeared in 61 games and delivered an average of 27 points per game with a scorching 61% from the field. The Pelicans continued their quest to build a competitive team around Zion, executing a shrewd trade during the 2022 trade deadline. They received CJ McCollum, Larry Nance Jr., and Tony Snell, giving up Josh Hart, 3 role players, a protected 2022 first-round pick, and 2 future second-round picks. Further demonstrating their competitiveness, the Pelicans fought tooth and nail against the defending Western Conference champions, the Phoenix Suns, during the first round of the 2022 playoffs. Young talents like Herb Jones and established players like Brandon Ingram, CJ McCollum, and Jonas Valanciunas gave the Pelicans depth and variation in their play. Despite this solid team effort that season, Zion's health kept him sidelined, and that wasn't the only concern. Many started noticing the young star seemed oddly detached from both the team and his teammates. Remember the previously mentioned CJ McCollum trade? Well, Zion didn't even bother to call their new floor general and welcome him to the team, prompting former teammate JJ Redick to publicly criticize him.
And look, I was his teammate. I can describe him as a detached teammate. That is an accurate statement. This is basic level of humanity being a teammate. Send a text to a guy when he gets traded to your team.
Rumors about Zion's family disliking the Pelicans organization only added fuel to the fire. Something was off about Zion in New Orleans. In the offseason, a fracture in Zion's right foot led to an immediate surgical procedure. By the end of September, there was an air of optimism among the team's officials, with the expectations set for his recovery by the beginning of the season. However, as the season progressed, it became abundantly clear that Zion wouldn't return. By mid-March, an unfortunate update was released. Williamson would not grace the court this season. However, to the surprise of many, Zion signed a 5-year max contract extension with the Pelicans in July 2022, which could potentially be worth up to $231 million, depending on his making an All-NBA team in the 2022-23 season. Zion was now eager to prove his worth to both the fans and the organization after a long and promising rehab period. The early part of the 22-23 season brought a glimpse of hope. The Pelicans started with the 17-12 record, and with the red-hot Zion averaging 26 points per game. However, the recurring theme of Zion's health issues resurfaced, and he was out for the season after just 29 games due to a hamstring injury. All these injuries forced Williamson to miss a significant amount of playing time, hindering his development and casting doubts over his long-term viability in the NBA. In fact, Zion has only played 114 games of a potential 308 NBA games during his short career. His inability to consistently stay on the court and fulfill the promise he showed in his early years made the basketball world start to question his future NBA career. The Pelicans also expressed significant concerns about Zion's weight management. His fluctuating weight has been a topic of discussion since his NBA debut. Last season, he was listed at 6'6", 284 pounds. But there have been instances where his weight has exceeded way over 300 pounds. Given his dynamic and explosive style of play, carrying excess weight isn't ideal, especially since he has already experienced serious injuries to his right knee and foot. To address these concerns, the Pelicans included a unique clause in Williamson's contract. He would have weigh-ins throughout his deal to ensure his combined weight and body fat percentage do not exceed 295 pounds. If they do, the guaranteed money in his extension, which begins in the 2023-24 season, could be reduced. Historically, Zion's weight management has been a struggle. There have been instances where he appeared out of shape, which has been publicly criticized. Injuries have sometimes made it hard for him to maintain fitness, but such fluctuation in weight is not expected from an athlete of his caliber, especially 4 years into his career. The body fat percentage is seen as a good measure of how much attention he's paying to his diet and off-court training. Even though he performed well on-court during his second NBA season, there were suggestions that he could have done more to maintain peak physical condition. As he enters his 5th season, there's an expectation for Williamson to focus more on aspects like diet, sleep, and conditioning to be the best version of himself both on and off the court. However, concerns about Zion extend beyond staying in shape or his durability. The recent porn star drama surrounding Zion escalated significantly following the revelation of his girlfriend's pregnancy. However, this news has led to some unexpected repercussions. In the wake of this announcement, a third woman, Yami Taylor, has publicly outed Williamson for their alleged affair, labeling him as a sex addict in explicit social media posts. These posts surfaced just days after adult film star Mariah Mills claimed that she had several and recent encounters with Zion, causing further controversy. Mills also hinted at the possibility of being pregnant with Zion's child, and posted screenshots of an apparent Snapchat exchange between them, suggesting that Zion had offered to pay for her to move to New Orleans and that he had cried during sexual encounters. This drama has stirred up a storm on social media, with many fans expressing their disapproval of Williamson's actions. Notably, sports commentator Stephen A. Smith even addressed the matter, expressing his frustration with Williamson's off-court issues, especially given his recent health problems and limited game time in the previous NBA seasons. Despite the controversy, Zion has yet to publicly respond to the claims. But it's clear that the Pelicans organization is not pleased about the situation, to say the least. And with all these off-court issues fresh in mind, rumors had been swirling that the Pelicans were contemplating trading Zion to the Charlotte Hornets to secure their second pick in the draft, specifically targeting Scoot Henderson or Brandon Miller. However, it turned out that all these speculations were not true. During ESPN's coverage of the NBA draft, NBA insider Adrian Wojnarowski disclosed that the Pelicans had no intention of putting Zion Williamson up for possible trade negotiations. However, it goes without saying that the Pelicans organization is getting tired of Zion Williamson's troubles both on and off the court. His actions away from the game are causing problems for the team. They're creating difficulties in the locker room and causing tension throughout the organization. The Pelicans once put up with this because of Zion's talent, but now they're worn out and he's on thin ice with the Pelicans. He needs to do better on and off the court for the upcoming season or he might be traded. Zion's basketball skills aren't the problem. It's the ever-growing injuries and fitness concerns, but also his behavior outside the court. New Orleans is running out of patience and it's clear. Zion needs to fix up his act, be a better teammate, and show he's committed to the Pelicans, or his days with the team are numbered. However, a player whose days are far from numbered is Nuggets NBA champion Aaron Gordon. A couple of seasons ago, he was only known for his spectacular dunks, but things have changed drastically, and Aaron has grown into one of the NBA's best role players, a strategic genius and a dual threat who owns both ends of the court. This is a far cry from his days in Orlando, where he was never able to fulfill his immense potential. I made a video about Aaron's incredible journey, how he's changed as a player, and how he became one of Denver's most important players in their championship run. Check it out.